So the first group, it's the training and education. Training and education? El primero, Fer. Okay. But training and education working group, so please, if you can came, it's 10 minutes. Yes. Victoria. Repeto. Marcela.
Okay, hello everybody. We are the chairs from the working group Training and Education. Victoria, Marcela, Andres, and well, also Ivan, as was not able to come here to Argentina this time. So we're going to present what the working group has been doing this year. So next one. Oh no. Oh, it's yes? Yes. Okay. So the working group has been working for 4 years now? Yeah?
Yes, from the beginning, yes.
From the beginning. And when we want to share these main goals that we have been working on this year. So one of the first one is to coordinate the activities in the region. So we began working with a survey to access the training opportunities in the region. So we found they were very dispersed, and many students from one country don't know the training opportunities from another country. So one of our first aims is just to be able to coordinate those activities. It's not working. Okay. Okay. No, yeah, thank you. All right. So the next goal is then take into account the available resources, realize that we could make our contribution there, improving the resources available, just with more courses on fundamentals, and Marcela and Andres are going to talk about that more. And also there was a need in the region to facilitate the exchange of experience among imaging scientists in Latin America, especially in their native languages, because, okay, we are here all talking in English, but sometimes students feel ashamed to speak in English. I would like to talk in their native languages, Portuguese and Spanish, so we make room for that also. And in the end, also to accelerate the application of imaging technologies in biomedical research through focus, training and exchange. So also the group has been helping to connect people to attend to apply for the grants, to travel from one facility to the other and to connect facilities. Okay, this is what we have been working. We have been mapping all the training opportunities in Latin America from the former years. And then from that, we began to work with the trainer initiatives. So Marcela?
Yes, in the first, the last slide was the beginning of this group, but in 2024, after the LABI meeting in Rio, we started to work together. And after this Train the Trainer event in Buenos Aires in the LABI Institute, we started to have our virtual meetings. This was the event that they joined together, and we started to talk with other users and microscopy trainers in Latin America. And after that, we decided, during our virtual meetings, we decided to start to work in two different subgroups, because we start to look at the main goals that we have, and we decided to start with two of these goals. One is to help and support the organization of fundamental in optical microscopy courses and also electrical microscopy courses. And we start with the fundamentals, and we decided to be partners, develop these courses in Uruguay and Argentina. And another work that we are now starting and we are conducting in the next year is our Curso Estrella de Microscopía. This is the name that one of our colleagues give to this course. And the idea is to give that, make a hybrid modality courses with virtual lessons and the practical sessions in each institution in person. Bueno, finish.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Más despacio.
Thank you.
Okay, in April of this year, we performed the course of Fundamental Microscopy in Uruguay in the Institute Pasteur of Montevideo. Victoria and Andres comes to our unit, and we developed this course for local microscopy users. And after that, in August of this year, we also performed the Curso de Fundamentos in the LABI Institute in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Now we have a bigger team of excellent microscopy trainers from Argentina, from different parts of Argentina. And this is the other part of this subgroup of fundamentals. We are now working in generate this hybrid course with these lectures that is going to be online or recorded. We are talking in the group the way to do it. And the idea is that every institution or every university that is involved have a in-person practical activity in accordance with what are your available equipments in each region, in each country, to perform the practical lessons. And we are now working in this. Also, Ana Clara is give us a lot of help generating a complete new brand from the courses in Latin America. We have logo, we have the program and the flyers, and we are working with her. Thanks, Ana Clara, for all your help. And with the other,
Okay.
this is the other objective.
Yes, and so as Marcela told you, we split into two groups because there was so much to do, and for just only one group. And the second group is the training education subgroup of exchange of experience that first we call IDEM because we wanted to make it in something that makes sense in Spanish and in Portuguese. So it's Intercambio de Experiencias en Microscopía, which makes sense also in Portuguese. So along with Ivan, we organized this series of, we are not calling seminars, but IDEMs, in which the main idea was like microscopy beneath the curtains. It means, okay, we are not going to give you a seminar about this wonderful paper and how it came, but we're going to talk about the things that go wrong and how we solve it finally to get the paper. Sample preparation, so the topics were like sample preparation beneath the scenes, so everything that goes wrong and how can you mend it to finally get your nice image. Involves fluorescent microscopy and electron microscopy, also experimental. Also experimental design in Latin America. So when you have to face all these budget problems, how can we help each other, and cases that we're able to finally interact and go along with the experimental projects, and also how to design the working plan to make a short visit. So we get advice also about that. And we were very happy because we have more than 200 people registered from 10 different countries. And as I told you before, the seminars went both in Spanish and Portuguese, so everybody could participate in their own language. And also each session takes a short moment of presentation and a long moment of interactions using Menti, the online tool, so everybody just got put their ideas there. Okay. So having said that, thank you very much. And show the group is open, the working group is still open. You can show the LABI community, and in a few weeks we are going to give the final IDEM presentation, closing the year, because the public wants it more, so we're going to keep on talking about sample preparations. So we invite you to join and come to the virtual event. Thank you so much.
Shall I go? Yep. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Adan Guerrero. I come from Mexico. I'm now representing the working group Data Science for Bioimaging. And so in this case, let me see if it will move. No, will won't. You are still changing the presentation? It is already there. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, the name here is quite different. Initially, it was called Image Data Science, and you can refer to whatever name you want, specifically because we want to solve problems, not naming things. And so this working group came out the last meeting in Rio de Janeiro. So here we see that logo previously. And indeed, we have a in-person session when we meet with all the people that were interested at that time. And we start asking questions in both English, Spanish, Portuguese, and whatever way we can find to communicate each other. And some of these objectives came out of that session. So this is a very young working group. It started 1 year ago. The idea started to materialize 1 year ago. And it was born with 4 different objectives. And all of them are correlated to a single objective, which is less to help us each other to live and survive in this world of data science. And specifically, we identified that we need education, we need improve access to infrastructure, we need to promote the standards of quality internationally, and of course, we know, advocate for funding. But this is what we really want to talk about, the problems that we have found. So in all of these cases, the image data, science, analysis, management, all of these words came out. And so these were the major ideas. We need funding to develop infrastructure. It's hard to keep track of data and its availability. We need standards and guidelines for data storage and handling. We need help for image analysis. We need to learn to do image analysis. It's difficult to find those learning tools that are tailored to our needs. And we also need to have better access to computing resources. Infrastructure is not well distributed. And there is a limitation for mobility all everywhere. But this was one of the most important things that we realized there, that in some of the countries, the general concept of that data management is not present. We know about data analysis, but not really data management. So we start thinking what are the major ways to address these problems, and one of those is to identify avenues to promote long-term sustainability, like funding bodies, but also to increase capacities in training and education and so on and so forth. Okay, so and this is a very brief things that we are doing in Mexico. In Mexico, we found a neutral space for international collaboration, which is the International Center of Sciences, and we want to put there, we have there some courses of image analysis, like this one of global bioimaging, but the thing that we want to do there in this is to create a node of bioimaging in Mexico, and this node will help, and it is not a hub, it is a node, will help to promote this initiative. So we have the space, we have the idea, but we don't have the money, but we are working for that. The main idea is to push forward these objectives, like pushing the increasing the capacities in education, promote network integration, and so on and so forth. Okay, but first, going forward, in the working group, we decide to survey all the community, not only start with ideas that we had in that meeting, but to ask you. So here we are, asking you to take your phone out, scan that QR code, and please help us with your help us to understand the needs that you have, because then we might come out with some solutions that emerge from the community. Of course, we start the surveys, I think last month ago it was released, and we have some outcome of this survey. And for example, when we speak about limitations, you can answer these surveys in Spanish, Portuguese, or English. And so the color, the orange is about highest limitation, and the blue is the lowest limitation. And there are limitations everywhere, of course. But let's what we can do to solve these problems. And one of things what we have found that is valuable for the community is that workshops are important. Whether they are local, regional, or international, we need to organize workshops. That is one way to address these problems. Okay, and an important part is that the materials can be either in Portuguese, Spanish, or English, depending in the communities. And how to sustain these kind of initiatives. So people think, we ask whether we need a degree in a university, whether people is more comfortable with organizing workshops, whether they prefer classes within a program, etc. And what we found is that everything might be useful, but also so this is related to formation. But also we asked about sustainability, and what came out, I mean, this is 27 person, okay? So that's why we need you guys. Is that we need networks to support to increase the outreach, the impacts of these initiatives. And the train the trainers programs that we have seen in some initiatives happening right now are very, very valuable for the community. Okay, and so people now is getting used to lead with the scripts. Okay, these things are changing. Now people feels a bit more comfortable or have been exposed to working with the scripts. But at the end, we have to develop the full ecosystem. An important part is that the way in which people normally have learned is by themselves, okay? And I mean, that is a way, but we need more formation. And one thing that came out is that it's not about having professional formation, like a degree. It can be more workshops. Because we want to solve the problems right now, not in the future. So in the case of image analysis, workshops might come as a general solution. But this, I think that we were finishing analyzing this data today. The most important thing is in which language you want to prefer to receive the information. It's your own language, okay? So, and this is something that that we want to give it to you. You can put the materials maybe in English, but the courses have to be in your own language to reach a deeper understanding of what you are organizing. So this is it. If you didn't got the QR code, get it again and help us to continue with this.
Thank you very much, Adan, and also the rest of the group. The part are here. Fefo is on the back. So now we move to the outreach and integration working group, represented in this case Hernán Greco, Agustín Corbat, and Aide Hernández.
Hi. Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Hernán Greco. I'm part of the outreach and integration group. The group is held by Mariana Denise, who was not able to come here due to some visa issues. She's a Mexican living in the US. Myself, Liciel Paulas, she's from Bolivia, and she's currently doing a PhD in the UK, right? And Aide Hernández, Mexican, who is around here, and she's also the winner of the T-shirt. Yeah. And we have Agustín Corbat, who is helping us as a local organizer of the following activities. So, as was already mentioned twice today, the training groups, working groups are an essential part of LABI. We have already heard about the training and education group, the data science for bioimaging, and here's the outreach and integration, which the purpose is to engage communities to inspire a next generation of scientists and connect our communities to address accessibility in microscopy. So it's like two goals, right? On one side is being able to connect with society. Why do we think microscopy is important? How do we connect the information and the knowledge about microscopy to those communities? And then also connect the local community of scientists which are scattered around the world in terms of microscopy, and in particular which Latin Americans which are working currently in Latin America can connect to other Latin Americans working in the US, in Australia, in Europe, etc., to create some kind of bonds. And by the way, this afternoon we have the lecture from Carlos Bustamante. He's an excellent example of a person who has by his academic career and degree, and he has worked a lot to sustain collaborations with local community in Latin America and to help labs in Latin America to develop by teaching here, by providing grants for students in Latin America to travel, by providing equipment. So we try to foster this type of connections because we understand that the diaspora of Latin Americans abroad can help a lot to increase our community. As I said, these are the 4 coordinators, right? And we have currently 17 group members of 8 different countries. And we have been doing some activities, meeting regularly, and basically trying to discuss what is the real nature. And what we realized immediately is that there is a big dispersion. It's very diverse, the continent, and also the outreach in the different parts of the world is very diverse. And so one of the, I would say that this was maybe the first activity that we had in the LABI Super Rest meeting that was held in Brazil. Right? It was a really nice activity with the community, going to the botanical garden, in which volunteers from LABI were engaging in different type of activities with people around. And what we realized here, and by connecting with other colleagues from all over the world, is that the reality in the outreach activities is very diverse. And a lot of people wanted to do outreach activities, but they didn't know how to start. You know, how should I organize an outreach activity? What topics should I include? What materials should I get? So we created this seminar series, which we did 4 of those, which was Ciencia en Conexiones. And the idea was to invite people doing outreach activities around the world and to share their thoughts, their knowledge, how they prepare, how they execute, and how they do the afterwards of an outreach activity. And that was very useful, and we collected a lot of valuable information. These seminars are on the web, on YouTube, for you to read and to listen to. And the idea is that this, hopefully, it's already multiplying the amount of outreach activities that were discussed. And another thing that we realized that there is, in some countries, for example, last Saturday here in Argentina, there was a Noche de los Museos. There is a night which was very nice around the city, in which people were going to museums, including also to the School of Science, to connect with scientists and scientific activities. But this is not very common in all over the world, and we would like to help people start these type of things in their own places. There have been activities like this in the past. For example, some of you know a pint of science, for example, which is also a way in which people gather to get a beer, right, and discuss science, and that is very convenient. And so we are trying to help cities and colleagues and institutions to do this if they are not doing this already, right? And one thing that again comes is, okay, how do I start? Which type of information do I need? What can you share in terms of concrete activities? And that is why Aida is preparing a wonderful material that she would like to share with you. What's about?
Yes, so this manual of activities will be in Spanish, maybe in Portuguese. If someone from Brazil wants to be involved, just give me your name. So the main idea of the activities is to show the complete guideline about how to make an outreach activity. From what is the activity for, how many people do you need, which people will be involved, what is the topic that you need to know, and also what are you going to explain to the people. So actually we have only 4 activities from expansion microscopy, basic microscopy, and some sample preparation. And if you want to put your activities there, just send your email to LABI, and we will be put it online. So if you want to see also the material, we are creating the manual with all the design with Ana Clara. So in short time, it will be available in the LABI page.
Great, thanks. And then during this week, on Wednesday, we'll have 2 activities organized by LABI together with the School of Sciences. And so the first activity is being organized by Agustin. So Agustin, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, okay. The first activity is more towards the integration part of the group. So the idea was to generate a space where students, undergrads, graduates, and also postdocs and researchers could share this space to start new collaborations, but also inspire the coming students and PhD students as well towards bioimaging, and also understanding that it's not completely mandatory to go to the global north to do your research, but there's plenty of collaborations available to do already in Latin America. So there's been a couple of students that were asking, oh, I would like to travel abroad and do my PhD abroad or postdoc or even a stay, but they were a bit, they had this language barrier. And there's plenty of opportunities in Latin America, so we wanted to give this space for researchers from LABI to present their work to students from here to show them the possibilities they could go for.
Yeah, and the second activity that's going to happen simultaneously on Wednesday to the activity that Austin has just presented, it's about doing microscopy activities with high school and middle school teachers. Yeah, like around 25 years ago, when I was finishing my undergrad thesis, they asked me to give a talk about microscopy, and I titled this talk, "Microscopy is a point in which we get together, right? Un punto de encuentro." And I really think about this, that microscopy is a great place to join different disciplines, from physics, biology, chemistry, math, computer science, engineering, but also art, right? And nowadays in many countries in South America, they are trying to find projects in which to work in school. So instead of having the school organized by topics, they have projects that goes across this type of topics, right? And therefore, we thought that microscopy would be a great topic a great project to discuss with school teachers that they can bring to the lab. So what we are doing on Wednesday, around 25 school teachers are coming to the university, and we are going to use to do a project that was inspired by what Liciel has been doing in Bolivia, in which we get small lenses which are from laser pointers, and we combine that with a cell phone to look at different natural samples, but also technological samples, screens, microchips, etc. Right? And the idea is to show them how to build this type of microscope, how to use them, and then go deep into the samples to discuss about them, right? To put this in their own hands, and then the teachers are going to get a small bag with lenses so that they can repeat that with their own class in school. So we think that this has a multiplier effect, that it's not just what we are going to do with these 20 professors, but hopefully what they will multiply with their own students, right? So hopefully we will see also these things being applied. So this is going to happen on Wednesday, right? And so with that, I reached to an end. I invite you all to participate into the outreach and integration group. There are multiple things to do. It's a very diverse group. And we also think that the local realities are very different from country to country, from city to city, even within the same country. So if you like to start your own outreach activity and you don't know how, please send us an email. We'll be happy to participate and to know. And if you are doing an outreach activity and you want to share with us so that we can share with a larger community, please also do. Thank you very much.